Hello everyone and welcome back to my complete Roblox Studio tutorial series. In this video I'm going to be going over printing properties and other stuff, so let's just get right into it. So to start, I'm just going to get rid of this spawn point because it's part of the template, but we don't really need it. So I'm just going to go up here into my main home panel, which we talked about in the last episode, and I'm going to click on this little part button. What that will do is it will spawn a part right here, and if you look over in my Explore window, which I have open on the right, you can see that it popped in right here. And I just have my properties panel right below that. So to get started, we want a script because we need to print stuff, and printing is a scripting command. It's something that we write in scripts. It's something that does something. So I'm going to right click this part right here. I'm going to go to Insert Object, or Insert Object. And then you can scroll through this list, but I'm just going to type it in right there, script, got script right there, and it opens up in this separate editing window. And you can see there's already a print command here. That's pretty cool. Now, as you can see at the bottom of my screen, I have my output window. And if we just go into the play functionality here, you'll see that, oh look, in the output window, it printed hello world as a string of text. And a string of text, if you do not know, is just basically just a bunch of letters, just a sentence. Just think of it like a sentence, just or quote unquote string of letters. That's why it's called a string. So we can print whatever we want in here. It doesn't have to be hello world. We can print this is so awesome. And when we do that, it will print out that. So seems pretty simple. Now, we can also do mathematical equations with this. We can print out 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 multiplied by 2, all that stuff. So let me show you how you would write that. For 1 plus 1, you just type in the number, and then the plus sign, and then 1. Notice how this time there are no quotes, because we're not typing a string, we're typing a pretty much an expression, a mathematical expression, which means that we are giving it numbers and mathematical operations for it to perform. In layman's terms, just don't put the quotes because you're not writing a string. So when we do this, 1 plus 1, and we click the play button, you'll see that 2 popped out, which I hope all of you guys know that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now, for multiplication, it's a little bit of a weird sign. If you've been in math, I think in Western countries you would have seen this symbol, but it is the asterisk symbol, or on American English keyboards, it is Shift and 8. So let me show you what that looks like. Let's do 3 times 2. You type in 3 and then Shift 8 on American keyboards, but just look for whichever key has this asterisk symbol or the star symbol, and that is your multiplication symbol. And then because it's 3 times 2, we're just going to tack on a 2 at the very end of this expression. So when we press play on that, we're going to get the output of 3 times 2, which is 6. Now subtraction is pretty much the same thing as addition. You just use the subtraction symbol. Just for demonstration purposes, we're going to do that. 3 minus 2 is 1. That is pretty sick. And then we are just going to do division. Now division is a slash. Now I'm pretty sure many of you probably write this down like you write division down as a slash. It's kind of like a fraction, but for 3 divided by 2, you would just do 3 and then forward slash and then 2, and that will give you 3 divided by 2 or 1.5. So that is just a basic rundown of mathematical expressions inside of Lua. Now, the other stuff that printing can do is it can print out properties. Now, what are properties? Well, we went over them in the last video a little bit. It's been a while since I recorded, so I don't exactly remember what we went over. But basically, properties are just aspects about this part. So let me just go back to base plate here. You can see that this part, this part has a color. It has a texture. If you can zoom in, you know, there's a texture there. It has a size. It has an orientation, and it has a position. All those are properties of this object, or part, sorry. And we can access those. Now let me show you the syntax for accessing those. Now if you see in my Explorer panel over here, you'll see that there's part, and then this script is kind of tabbed inwards. It's kind of like down and under. Well, same thing, down and to the right. What that means is that this script is a child of this part. Like, think of it like this part owns this thing. It's claimed it. It's like its own. So what that means is that if we want to reference this part within this script, we would say script, which just means we're talking about this current script, like this object, this thing, because this script is an object. It's a thing. And we want to access its parent because, the relationship, if this script is a child of part, then the part is the parent of script. So we're talking about script being the object, this physical script, and we're going to do script.parent with a capital P. Now what we've done is in this expression, we are going script and then to parent, and then we can use another dot to access any property. Let's just do script.parent.name. Now, if we run this, you'll see that we get part in the output. Now, this is some syntax that we haven't talked about yet. The dot operator, I like to call it. I don't know what the actual name is. I don't think I ever learned it, but I'm just going to call it the dot operator. What it is it basically it's accessing parts. It's going deeper into like accessing things. So you see, we start off with script. That's our root for think of it like a chain. Like we're going to go to here, to here, to here, to here. We're going to access this, and then this holds this, and then that holds this. This holds that, whatever. It's like searching through boxes, or think of it like a treasure map. You're giving the directions to the treasure while the property or whatever you're trying to access is the actual treasure. This is just the pathway. So we're going from script, then we're going to the parent, and then we're going to the name. And each one is separated by a dot. Now let's do position, because this is different. Let's type in position here. So script.parent.position. You'll see that when I play this, it will print out 3 numbers. Don't mind the middle one. That's kind of ugly because Roblox can be sometimes fun sometimes. So you see 2, that's its x coordinate. Its y coordinate is 0.5 and gobbledygook, and then -1. We will go over coordinates in a later episode, but just for now, just know that this is the position of the object, and it's represented by 3 numbers. Now, there's 3 numbers. If we go to stop, and we go back into the properties panel, you see that down here, there's this thing called position. You see, X, Y, Z. That's the 3 components. And you see how it's also kind of like the part in script, how it's like, boom, C frame, and then down to the right, and then down and to the right. That's because this position owns the X, Y, and Z, which also means that in our script, we can do .x. And if we do .x, we will just get the X coordinate because we're just accessing that. We're going deeper into the treasure map. We are just going deeper into the tree of access. So position, we can do that. We can also, let's go with size because that's another thing that has multiple parts. So script.parent.size with capital S. Got to make sure that it's capitalized. You see we got 4, 1, 2. And if you look, on this grid, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, you got your 4 right there. And then you got your Y, which is like how high it is. You got 1 unit high. And then you got 2, that's its width. You got 1, 2. Boom, that's its size. Pretty cool. And because this one also has 3 components, we can do script.parent.size.z. Then that will work just fine. As you see, bada bing, bada boom, we get 2. So that is pretty much all. That is basically all of the basics of printing. In the next episode, we are going to be going over variables. I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.